How long gone? We're back. I'm in New York. Them Jeans is in LA. What's really good, baby?
I just got out of the sauna moments ago. I'm still a little schwitzy. I have a nice iced green tea. I'm looking at nonstick carbon steel cookware online. It's a beautiful fucking Tuesday, man. I'll tell you what.
Carbon steel. Does that make it lighter?
That's a good guess. Now, basically, there's like you probably have heard about it. Like, there's a movement against people using non-stick cookware, the Teflon, the microplastics, the chemicals, blah blah blah. So a lot of brands are starting to do, like, if you properly treat a cast iron skillet, it'll be naturally non-stick, but it requires a lot of upkeep and maintenance that most people don't want to do. And there's another thing called carbon steel, which is sort of like a hybrid of different pans where it's a little bit lighter. So it is you can consider it kind of like a lighter cast iron where it still retains a lot of heat. It's kind of like a wok is the metal that you would most be comfortable and familiar with. Think about a wok metal.
Yeah, because
if you properly maintain it, you can like fry an egg and it'll be non-stick if you do it the right way.
Okay, yeah, because I've used a lot of woks in my time. I got
you haven't personally been in the fire. But you go to a lot of Asian eateries, and you enjoy the food of various countries like China.
I do love Asian eateries.
Vietnam.
Don't say China in that voice.
Japan.
I caught what you were doing.
What they're doing with the woks over in China is very impressive.
We were talking about this earlier in the group chat, but our boy Tom Brady, former quarterback and now on-air personality, football player, he got in trouble, first of all, for his first day on the air calling a quarterback a spaz, which you cannot do anymore. So he got killed, and he got hit for that.
He got CTE from that hit.
He got CTE from that, and then his ex chick who left him and his $500 million for a jiu-jitsu instructor, like surfer guy, announced that she was pregnant with this new guy's child. And then Tom Brady he posted basically a kind of dramatic sunset view video with a cover by the Chicks formerly
known as the Dixie Chicks, covering Fleetwood Mac's Landslide. What an epic breakup tune.
Classic breakup tune. Classic breakup tune.
There's a lot to chew on here with Tom Brady. Still licking his wounds from the Netflix roast as well a couple months ago.
Let's not forget about
being
the roast.
Really just taken to task, bent over backwards by comedian of the day, Tony Hinchcliffe, famous Puerto Rican hater.
Yeah.
Going through it. So Tom, and also the girl that left him for this jiu-jitsu guy, on any given day known as the most beautiful woman alive in the last 100 years, not just any
I didn't mean to bury the lead that
not just any old barn wench. We're talking about Giselle.
It is Giselle.
G-Eazy, come on the pod soon, but Giselle, come on the pod second.
Someone who is kind of known by her first name, which is a powerful
also
thing.
That.
Because if you say Tom, we could be talking about a lot of people. If you say Giselle, there's only one person you could be talking about, and that's true.
You're gonna
Madonna.
make me guess famous Toms.
Don't start.
Pull up a chair. We'll be here for a while.
Well, speaking of famous Toms, I hate to bring up Tom Arnold, but he was the guest on Armie Hammer's new podcast. Our favorite fucking cannibal has come into our arena.
Top 10, not favorite. Go ahead.
Top 10 cannibals. Armie Hammer, known stickman, who is now in recovery, and you can tell by the way he talks.
Yeah. He'll put a bitch's ear on a stick and put it on the fucking hibachi.
He's coming into the podcasting terror dome to duel with people he meets in his AA meetings, is what it sounds like with the Tom Arnold situation. But
it's an easy get.
It's an easy get. They smoked 6 cigarettes and decided they were going to do it. But this just leads
me. You have a dope story.
I really, dude, it's super dope that you shared. I would love for Armie Hammer to come on How Long Gone. I think this is a time for a cross promotion. We're not going to platform bad politicians. I'm not going to have Donald Trump on this podcast. I'm not going to have JD Vance on this podcast. No. But accused cannibals I think that's where we'll let it slide. I hope you agree.
I mean, looks come into play. He still is a heartthrob for many of our female and male listeners.
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure from some of the most toxic chicas who subscribe to us down to a friend of the show, Andrews, wouldn't mind, chucking a leg over that log, You watch
That's
the Social Network on an airplane and you see, hey, we're 6'5" and there's two of us, it's, spit roast time. Bend me over in first class.
I would love to be in the Cayman Islands locked in a hotel room smoking a DMT pen with Armie Hammer. Honestly, nothing sounds better to me.
You're so fucking beautiful.
But Armie,
have I ever told you that?
Armie, I want to welcome you. I'm sure you're listening. I want to welcome you to podcasting. And the show is called Armie Hammer Time.
Mm-hmm.
And the logo looks like it's for like an axe throwing bar. Kind of is the vibe.
The logo.
In Austin.
I'm glad you said that. I was driving by. There's this giant fucking crazy white boy, crazy with the K, monster truck, and on the back of it, it had a giant like phone number and website. And the truck itself is a mobile axe throwing bar.
Nice,
I guess.
Nice.
It's you can hire this guy for a mobile axe throwing event, which makes me also think that isn't any guy with an axe a mobile
That's a good
axe
point.
Throwing company.
I guess you need targets.
But the logo, you do need some. I need a piece of wood or a hay bale, and then we'll get the URL purchased. And anyway, the logo for the podcast for Armie Hammer Time, it does look like that. But it to me, when I first saw it, it evoked early memories of when podcasting first started and the early settlers of Apple and this is way before Spotify was even a founded nation. And it was just these little pet project logos that someone's like, my cousin made the logo and it's two hammers crossing, and then instead of like a skull and crossbones, the skull is a microphone, and the font is just like the worst font you could ever think of,
but not any old microphone, kind of a 50s style Elvis microphone. You know what I mean? Recognizable.
It's the same kind of logo.
It's not an SM57.
Yeah, like a guy who has like what if all my crazy guys from the construction site started a podcast kind of feel, or like me and my cousin who fix up old cars. I think we can probably make it pretty big in the podcasting space. Talking about how we fix up old cars, it has that kind of feel. It has like an innocence, a pure podcast. Hey, I'm Armie Hammer. I'm in a little bit of a trouble financially right now. I famously had to sell my truck at Car Gurus in Sherman Oaks to pay my rent. Things aren't going well.
Things aren't going great.
Oh, yes, I forgot. I could just start a podcast and I will be on my way to millions of dollars.
He's on his way.
And it's nice to see celebrities still experiencing that for the first time.
That's true. We thought that was over, but it's not. I also saw that friend of the show, 50 Cent, turned down doing Trump MSG Con for $3 million. Apparently, is what he's saying he was offered.
He said you could hold your little 3-bag.
He said, "I sold vitamin water back in the day when money meant something. I don't need your little dirty check." But it's very cool for 50 Cent to turn that down. He knows better. Whereas Fat Joe couldn't turn down the World Series, and that was free of charge.
Yeah, I mean, 50 still likes fucking black chicks, and
that's true.
He's not going to get he needs the Kamala vote for that.
Yeah, he does need the Kamala vote for that.
He's on the right side of history.
I saw this video of Fat Joe, because I guess Fat Joe coming out at the Yankees Dodgers game.
We talked about this when I mentioned that Ice Cube came out in LA.
This is our answer to that, I guess.
I took no pleasure in handing New York the L if we're going to do rapper versus rapper at games 2 and 3.
It is surprising they couldn't get somebody a little cooler. But I listened, partly from Joe Budden, but partly from other podcasts. There's like
I would have taken a Tekashi 6ix9ine.
There's a thing about Fat Joe apparently where like he's been on so many podcasts and done so many interviews and shit, and he just like he basically just has like a different origin story every time he talks. and people just like let him rock and think it's funny, kind of, which I do also.
Because he's a good storyteller, and you're just like, I don't care how real or fake this is.
Yeah, I don't care. It's like, yeah, he was there for everything. He did this, he did that. None of it matters. He just does his thing, and everybody lets it rock, which I do like.
He's taken a page out of Lana Del Rey's campy energy.
Yes.
Fat Joe's being brat. He's being a little rascal. Come catch me. You can't track me down.
He's a rascal.
But it was nice to see some Timbs on the pitcher's mound. It was nice to see a Terra Squad logo embroidered into a Yankees fitted. It felt nice, taking me back to
I do love
2000 whatever that was.
I do love the Terror Squad logo. That's a really good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good one.
What do you think the last time Fat Joe terrorized something that wasn't edible?
God damn it.
His kid didn't do homework?
I mean, I'm sure he's got several kids. Maybe when his barber fucked up the line on his beard, that could be something that could really piss him off.
That's exactly what it was. It was either that or the gardener fucked up one of his hedges in Newark.
Which is the same thing as a beard, kind of, when you think about it. It's the same thing.
Damn, bro. Third eye. Third eye wide up. Oh, I wanted to really quick, before I forget, give a shout out. Congrats to listeners of the show, Matt and Larissa. They got married last weekend. Just want to give a shout out. Friend of the show reached out. So congrats, y'all.
Who are they friends of? I ain't never heard of either of them.
It's just Larissa and Matt. Don't worry about them, bro.
I'm busy looking at a San Francisco Standard article I just saw that says man tries to ride Muni with dead raccoon, and it's a video of a guy just holding a full-size dead raccoon trying to board the train.
Bro, that's not the news. That happens every hour on the hour in part, right?
Bro, that's correct. But the photo of this is just so clear, like what's happening, that it's really good. It's really, really good.
Was it shot on the iPhone 16?
It just like the New York Magazine media story, all of the portraits were shot on iPhone 16. The all new iPhone 16, which I have in my possession right now, and I can't tell the difference between this and the other one. So I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know what I paid for.
Look, I've spent some time in the Tenderloin. Call me when the raccoon is alive, okay? A dead one on the train, whatever.
Yeah, that you're
give me something alive, and we got some news there.
Honestly, I stand with you on that. If the shit ain't breathing or jogging, I don't care. We have a guest today.
Yeah, that's right.
Friend of the program is joining us all the way from, where does he live now? Somewhere deep LA.
I think he's Altadena adjacent. I don't want to fully dox him, but yeah, he's over there.
I don't want to dox him either. He's already doxed by ghosts. But yeah, Jack Wagner, our friend.
Doxed by ghosts. That's good.
Who's been on the show before. His podcast, Otherworld, which has gotten very popular, where he talks about kind of spooky shit and uncovers all kinds of stuff. We're not going to talk about any of that today because I have no interest in it. But Jack is a very funny guy.
We're going to talk about how we hate gay Halloween and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a very funny guy and an old friend of ours, pod veteran.
I don't hate gay Halloween. I hate Halloween. I want to be clear. I don't. Let me be clear.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Halloween, but gay Halloween is the best version of it, I would say.
So you hate Halloween. If you're going to have to choke it down, at least make it gay is what you're saying. You have no problem with the gay people, the holiday itself. It's too spooktacular.
It's too spooktacular for me. That's exactly what's going on. Once again, it's too spooktacular for me. I'm a little baby.
I guess let's give him a call.
Let's give him a call.
Damn, he got a little bit of money. He got soundproofing in his shit.
He got a little bit of money. That Patreon hitting. So
Jack got a little check.
We were talking earlier about, because you live very far away. You live in like Coyote country. Is it even considered Los Angeles?
Dude, I live in East LA.
Coyote country.
I live in East LA.
But East LA, I don't want to like
you as a WeHo man.
We don't want to dox you. We're not trying to dox you, but what?
I mean, I live in Alhambra.
Okay, I thought that's a place I've probably driven by on the highway, I would guess, but what happens?
Probably.
Why would you go there? Because of the space that you're able to get, of course, for your money?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like a house and a yard and stuff. I mean, we're renting the house, but we've been there forever. It's probably be there for a little while.
Alhambra, Chris, also known as a great place to find flavors of the Orient as well.
That's true. A lot of good food.
Okay, so you're eating good.
Bomb-ass food.
You're eating good. And what are your neighbors like?
Super chill, pretty much. I mean, I had some crazy neighbors, dude. I had some crazy neighbors for a minute. This was a long time ago. But I immediately thought of them.
Wait, not in this house, in a different house.
In the same house.
What were they doing?
like day one threatening to kill me.
All right, so they just
Welcome to the neighborhood. I will literally kill you if you look at me.
They just didn't like the cut of your jib. They just looked at you and said, "Nope."
Okay, we can't have this turn into the entire episode, but like,
don't worry.
Put it this way:
they were big Brandon Wardell fans. They didn't like the split.
I didn't know people even moved into the house. I go, like, we're still new. This is probably like a month and a half into living there. I go put gas in my car because we're going on a road trip, return home, and like see everybody in my house. We had guests like at the side door looking at this lady that's like standing there with a swivel chair, and everybody's really tense. And I go over and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?" I'm like, what's happening? And everybody's like locked up. Everybody in my house looks crazed. Like I'm just trying to parse like what is going on, and nobody will say anything.
They're spazzing out.
Yeah. It took me literally like 10 minutes of being like, what is happening? What is going on, guys? And finally, I got a lot of them that like this woman now lives next door, and she is accusing us of building a meth lab under her house. And the reason she thinks that is because she heard us in her pipes last night.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like a dream for her because this theory is obviously concocted by someone who is on meth. So it feels
100%. 100%.
Okay, so you got the Alhambra meth heads next door. This is
a very suburban area. There's like the fact that there's a meth situation is shocking.
See, here's the thing, Jack. That's where the meth. That's where they got to go. I don't know if you've ever seen television show, Weeds or something like that. It's always in the sub. It's always
the sequel. The sequel to Weeds, meths.
It's always in a pleasant suburban neighborhood. And then all of a sudden the house explodes. The garage is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Chemicals are in the air.
Yeah, Jack, you've seen Friday After Next in Rancho Cucamonga, where the Mexican homies are running drugs out of there, but their sister is really fine, and we have to fuck her.
Well, Rancho Cucamonga is very different.
I've never Rancho Cucamonga.
When you say very,
Rancho Cucamonga is one of those cities that sounds like it's people making up something to make fun of California.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel real.
It's right on the edge of the desert.
It doesn't feel real.
On Friday After Next, Ice Cube's dad famously refers to it as Rancho Chicaminguez. It's a fun word to just mess up.
Where is Rancho and what goes down there? I'm not as familiar with California as you two, long-time locals.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a long-time local, not like Jason. I'm originally from Chicago.
We know, but I was trying to let you bury that.
Respect. Bro, you go to Chicago more than me.
I do.
Chris, it's the Aurora of California, of Los Angeles.
Okay, thank you. No, I have probably been to Chicago more than you have in the last year, but that's just because it's closer to me, I would say, and I would never go there to visit family.
I like that statement.
And Jack, you are not involved in FX's The Bear at all, so why would you really go?
That is true. That is true.
Your family's not there anymore?
My family's not there, so I've not gone back in a long time.
Where are they? Where'd they go?
Like scattered.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, Florida, Arizona.
Wow, all the hot spots. I know. Close your eyes and pick one. I mean, that's a dream.
Exactly.
These are all great places to start up an underground meth lab.
I've never been to Arizona, but it's at the top of my list if I'm keeping a stack.
Really?
Why?
I don't know, because it just feels like a place that I've never been that's going to be kind of weird. And I'm interested in that.
You'll definitely get that.
I've been to the airport, but you know what I mean. It's like everywhere else in I don't know. Like the Midwest, I'm very familiar with. The Northeast, I'm familiar with. The West Coast, I'm familiar with.
I think you can have a fun weekend in Scottsdale. If you played golf, it'd be a lot better. But if you just want to have a lazy lunch where there's misters hitting you.
100%.
You'll be fine, but there's no reason to go to Phoenix.
Well, I'm trying to get more athletes in my social circle. I feel like I've maxed out on musicians, and I need to and athletes tend to spend their off season in places like Scottsdale and Phoenix because you can train year round because of the warm weather.
Yeah, it's good for my arm.
Last time I was in Scottsdale, I had an insane evening. My dad, who's normally not a great host, was a strangely good host upon our arrival. My sister and my wife showing up there with me. And he had a full plan. He took us to this nice dinner, and he's like, afterwards, there's a rodeo on the grounds of this barbecue place we're going. It's like this big,
Nice.
barbecue / rodeo / like dance place.
Medieval times.
Kind of.
It's dinner and theater.
It's going weirdly good, except we get to the rodeo, which I'm very excited about. The first guy comes out, and one of the rodeo clowns gets kicked by the bull, flipped multiple times in the air. I'm actually recording it on my phone because I'm like, wow, this is going to be a cool Instagram post that I'm going to be able to make, like the rodeo footage. I recorded a man probably...
Epic rodeo fail.
I'm pretty sure he died.
Okay, so...
Okay, and you said this is the very first thing that happens in the rodeo. Welcome.
Yes.
They open the gates, the bull comes out, and more or less murders a man within 10 seconds.
Okay, so the vibes change. The vibes change.
No, the
quick.
craziest aftermath. They kept the music playing for like quite some time while they tried to help the man. And then slowly the energy turned.
Let's get retarded in here.
No, literally it was like that for a while. And then as it got worse, I knew it was taking a real turn for the worse when the announcer led everybody in a prayer, like led the entire stadium in a prayer for this guy. By the way, he did survive. I think I'm pretty sure this guy did survive, but it was not looking good that night. It really, really put a damper on things.
It was touch and go.
And the entire stadium was just like watching this unfold for about 45 minutes. Like they didn't get him out of there.
Okay. How did your dad handle it?
He was just kept drinking his Corona.
Okay. Is your dad a cowboy, or is this just like what he wanted to take you guys to do?
No, he just thought it sounded fun.
Okay.
Did your dad find a way to blame the whole accident on you?
No. He was very laissez-faire about it. He was.
Well, when you're accustomed
on the way home, like that was
when
wild.
you spend a lot of time around.
Mess with the bull, you get the horns.
When you've
right?
spent a lot of time around animals like that, you know that it's a risk, and you know that they could buck at any point, and that's it for you.
Yeah.
You sound like the announcer.
I mean,
now.
look,
this is literally the type of shit he was saying while this man was
I'm actually very
fighting for his life, unconscious on the ground.
Very scared of horses. Actually, I don't understand the fascination with horses. I mean, I like the rich women who ride them, but I don't like the culture around it. But the actual animals are terrifying, and they will kill you. And I don't understand what I just don't like animals, I guess.
Fair enough.
So at every stage, I'm just like, why the fuck would you risk this?
Yeah, but I would say there's a difference between not liking an animal and being deathly afraid of them.
Deathly. No
Very
one
different.
said deathly.
Oh, sorry, not deathly, but you said very afraid. When you and I were at Plum Sykes's country house,
Yes.
in the Cotswolds, she had a couple beautiful, elegant horses trotting around free and openly on her grounds. And I maybe I touched the mane, maybe I gave it a pet. And when you saw the horse, what were you thinking? Get me the hell out of here?
No, I was just happy it was behind a fence. You know, we were separated.
Well, yeah, you respect it.
I respect.
It's a
that's the
powerful
thing.
animal.
I have great respect for horses because they're beautiful and powerful. I don't want to pet one. I don't want to ride one. I don't want to do any of that shit. I'll go to an equestrian. You know, if the Olsons invite me to one of their meets, I'll go. Okay. But otherwise, I don't think I
never want to ride a horse because I feel bad. My ass too fat.
You're too big.
Yeah,
bro. Your legs would touch the ground.
I mean, I watched so much. I watched so much of that show. What was the show? Why am I blanking on the show name, Jason?
Yellowstone?
The ranch, the Dutton Ranch. Yeah, I watched so much Yellowstone that I think by the end of like one 12-hour Delta flight, I thought I could ride a horse from just watching so much television. And I didn't want to find out the hard way that is untrue.
You picked up most of the ins and outs of horse maintenance through watching that show.
Well, the thing on that show that happens a lot with horses is, you know, if they get too hurt, you got to put them down. You know, you got to kind of take them out to pasture and put a couple in them. You know,
They're
and
putting
that's
a lot of people down in that show.
Yeah, a lot of people, animals, everybody's going down.
Do they eat the cow? I mean, do they eat the horse? Do they eat the horse after they kill it on that show?
No. You like bury it, like you like respect because those are that's how you make your money.
That's true. That's life on the ranch for you.
I guess when you're on the ranch and you kill the horse, you probably use a gun, and I wanted to use that as a way to transition into...
I lobbed that to you because that's where my head was. I lobbed that to you.
Thank you for that. This is the power of a pod duo who's cooking with grease, Jack. You know what the vibe is. But we only have 3 days left maximum in Glocktober. and I wanted to talk to you about the festival of Glocktoberfest that you chose to participate in this year.
Glocktoberfest, yeah, just bought a Glock.
Okay.
Because that's what you're referring to.
Are you
I'll be honest, it was kind of an impulse buy.
okay? Hold
Like
on.
it was a
Okay.
Saturday. My friends were going to Glocktoberfest at Turner's Outdoors. It's like a sporting goods stores out here.
It's not a Barney's warehouse sale, bro. This is a big
I
decision.
don't have any friends that
Honestly,
were
I
hitting
didn't think about it too much.
Glocktoberfest, so I guess that's why I didn't go. I didn't get the invite. Do you own weapons already?
I have like, one gun.
Okay, what kind of gun? An AR-15? Something illegal?
38 special.
Okay, like this. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So you have.
So you already popped the cherry. I think buying your first gun, you've already gone over the hill, so you know what it's like. You're a little desensitized. You're already a gun person, more or less, by owning a 38 special as your first and only gun. That's a
You're
little,
a gun person.
little boss hog.
I didn't buy. I didn't technically buy the 38 special.
Who gave it to you? Your dad?
It was given to me by a guy.
By a guy?
Okay.
What kind of
We
guy?
don't need to get into it.
We do need to get into it. That's literally why we do the show. All right, so a guy gave you a gun.
How canceled is this guy?
Quick question: is the serial number kind of off, or is it still on?
It was that vibe of a situation, but the serial number's on there.
Did somebody owe you money, and this is how they paid
Do you have to give the gun back to this guy at a certain point?
There's a family friend that is known to show up to Thanksgiving with like a bag of pomegranates and ammunition, and sometimes there might be a weird gun in there. And one of
All right,
these
so you're-
times, I took it.
So you're fishing through the pomegranate bag, and you stumble on some cold hard steel, and you said, "I'm going to tuck this in the back of my Levi's."
like when a businessman comes home in the 60s and daddy, what'd you bring us? He opens his duffel bag, loose pomegranates and guns?
Yeah, I'm not lying. I also don't want to blow up this person's spot, but now after I'll probably bring it back after the Glocktoberfest celebration.
Okay, so who did at Glocktoberfest? Was it humming? Were they giving out chili? What was the vibe?
There was not really a party. It's more of a sale.
It's just a
more of
sale. It's just a sale.
Chris, think of it
It's
as
just a
Alexis
sale.
December to remember.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, it was
But
exactly.
did your Glock come with a red bow? Probably not.
Well, dude, I went to go pick it up today. I was an hour early. There's like the 2-week waiting period. I didn't know it was two weeks on the dot. Like they're like,
For you, I would have said
it's not
3.
11:30.
I would have said 3, bro, if it was you. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so you're saying they're like, no, we have it like time stamped, and you had to turn around and leave, or you just killed an hour.
Completely wasted my
You
morning.
walked into Turner and they're like, this guy's a little bit of an eager beaver. Do you live near any schools or anything like that? Is that what they were thinking? Has this guy
They do.
ever worn any Joker mask? Any Joker face paint?
They did. When they test you or like make you fill out all the paperwork, they do ask you like, out loud, have you ever been found by a court to be criminally insane? And it's like a question where it's hard not to audibly laugh out loud. I did.
Because it sounds like a Limp Bizkit lyric.
Yeah, exactly. Criminally insane.
Sounds like an Eminem song.
But also, what kind of the person asking this question, are they inbred, or do they seem normal? What is the?
They seem normal.
They seem
Yeah.
normal, but are they wearing tactical clothing? And do you think they have 5 or 6 guns hidden on their person?
No, it's always like a Chinese guy in a polo shirt.
Oh, I'm back.
There's a lot of Asian gunheads in LA.
Interesting.
I guess
Yeah.
is that just? I guess that's just an Asian population thing. There's such a large population that
Yeah, a mix. Yeah.
A lot of Asian Republicans in SoCal as well.
That's true.
guns just seem.
By the way, I
guns
feel
just
like I'm
seem
really alienating your audience right now. I'm trying to pick up listeners for Otherworld on this show. I mean, like, they're probably judging me right now.
No,
So-
we have a lot of Jack. We have a lot of Republican listeners.
Okay. I'm not Republican, by the way. Like,
No, I'm
it's not.
kidding.
Like,
Jack is a smart, intellectual friend who probably donates to NPR and all this stuff. He just feels the need to buy a Glock. Is this a Kamala thing? I know she's got a Glock in her.
I heard
in her
Kamala
Hermes.
had one, and I wanted to support her in every way I could.
That's how democratic you are.
I went down there with
Go
my
ahead, Chris.
Walls camo. I went down there with my Walls camo hat on, and I said, "Let me get a Glock like
yes,
mama love.
exactly. You know.
Okay. Final. We can move from the Glock, but
No, I'm fine. I mean,
how
it's an
much
experience thing though. Like, why not?
how much
know?
does a Glock cost? Because I've only bought guns
It's a great
illegally. So I don't know what the going rate is, what the taxation.
What was your illegal purchase?
We can't talk about that. It was a very, very.
But we
long
can
time
talk
ago.
about mine.
Well, yours wasn't illegal. That's why we can talk about it.
His was more of a trade.
Yeah, that's true. So you purchased this gun for how much USD?
I think it was like 570 before
That's
taxes and everything. Yeah, it came out to be like 750.
So you can get a brand new Glock during this Glocktoberfest for under a stack.
Yeah, with use code Otherworld.
Okay.
Follow-up question: did you get the Apple Care, or are you just gonna willy-nilly it?
Don't crack
No
the
Apple
screen.
Care on the Glock.
Okay, no Apple Care on the Glock. Did you buy any accessories? Maybe like
I did. I got a light.
Okay, did you get a holster for your thigh or anything like that?
No, I don't think we need all that.
I look. I know you don't need it.
I don't have like big plans for the Glock or anything either. I'm not gonna be one of those guys.
You're
like,
okay. So you're not planning to commit murder, but you could go to the shooting range. Is what you're saying.
Okay. By the way, when you do bring this stuff up, like you know, guns will come up in conversation with people I know. A lot of my friends are very anti-gun, right? I'm sure you have some of these friends.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think there should be much stricter gun laws, but like, I don't know. There's something funny. Like I've had a couple people like get sort of mad at the idea of me owning one. And I'm like, well, wait, what's the problem with me having one? I'm like, why don't you like them? Why wouldn't you like me having them? They reference like mass shootings and stuff. And I'm like, wait, so are you thinking that I'm going to do a mass shooting with this gun? Is that your concern?
Yeah.
Is that you? Look, the reason you don't like
Jack,
them is because of that.
Jack,
and you have a problem with me having. Are you thinking that
Jack,
I might just incidentally do one?
You opened yourself up to this though by buying the gun. I agree with you. That seems like a far leap for a friend or family member or colleague. But there's certain hysterics that come with gun talk.
It's a flag. And also, what you're saying is something that I truly believe. If I was in a situation where there was a gun and we needed to make sure the gun was being handled in a safe way, I would say you're at the top of the list of responsible guys I know who treat it with respect and all the rules that apply for safety. So that part is good, but the other problem is every guy who has a gun feels that way. So you never really know who to trust because everyone's like, I know how to handle it. I'm the best. Mm-hmm. And then you pick up the Glock and you're like,
are you strapped at all, Jason?
I'm not strapped. I think the world would be a much better place if we were not allowed to have guns, but
I agree.
I have a lot of friends who have guns and I'm still friends with them. I trust that they're going to use it only for.
I don't have any friends with guns, Jack. I consider you an acquaintance. I don't kind of do that. I don't do that whole thing.
It's just like a drug. It's something that can be used or abused. And when you see people who are like, I want to have a Glock because
I don't even like hunting.
I don't want people to come in and steal my, stuff from my business, my home, kidnap my family, kill my wife, whatever. That part makes sense. It's the people that get a gun and they're like, I've got plans for you. There's people that get off on shooting guns.
I don't have a reason for this. This was honestly an impulse Saturday decision. I worked that day. I had to work early in the morning.
Well, it sounds like peer pressure.
Not even. I was just thrilled to be outside, not working. My friends texted me. I had been recording early that morning. They're like, we're going to Glocktoberfest. You want to go? I had zero intention of getting a Glock.
You want to go? Okay, so.
Met them.
All right, so
met them. We went to brunch after. So Glocktoberfest was like we're going to go there before brunch. And I ended up buying a Glock.
Where did you go to brunch after Glocktoberfest? Sorry for interrupting.
We went to Tartine.
Wow.
Tartine.
Wow. This is the duality of man right here. You go to one of LA's, I would say, pretentious and white breakfast places after purchasing a weapon legally. Did you pay for this weapon with credit card or cash?
Credit, yeah.
You paid for it with a credit card. That's how I know you're not a criminal.
No, I mean, well, dude, there's paperwork. It's
you
not
put
like
the Glock. You put the Glock on the Amex.
Lil Durk right now. Like,
okay, hey, don't talk about it. Free dirt. Free dirt. I don't think I would pay for a gun with a credit card. I think I would take cash out of the ATM and make it feel more salacious than it needs to be.
You're like wearing sunglasses inside and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, sir, sir, you're gonna need to take those off.
This is okay. Well,
why are you wearing a trench coat? Are you standing on somebody's shoulders?
I am known to wear trench coats too. That's
Are you
bad.
standing
That's
on your
bad for me.
friend's shoulders right now, wearing
So
an
you're
extra
hard
long...
as a rock right now buying the sky.
Sir, why are you erect purchasing this weapon?
All right, Jack, let's get into some current events going on in our world. What do you think about Puerto Rican jokes being made by Tony Hinchcliffe at the Republican convention?
Ugh.
Have you seen this?
I have nothing but respect for the Puerto Rican people. I did see that though. What do you think? You guys go first. I'm scared. I've been off. You guys, I haven't had takes in like 2 years.
I just don't think it's.
Don't be a pussy.
I know it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. That's. I mean, I'm literally writing about this for my GQ column this week. But I'm like, none of these guys are funny anymore because they want to make a political statement. And Chappelle is the same way. Chris Rock only talks about getting slapped now. None of these guys are fucking funny. And this was. I mean, obviously, this guy was pandering to the crowd. But like the fact that the Trump, they've come out and like denounced it. Like he took it too far.
Abandoned his boy.
Yeah, because I mean, it's only because of the backlash. I'm sure they wouldn't have said anything if people didn't care, but it just wasn't particularly funny.
He would be pandering to the crowd at a Republican convention in a different part of the world that wasn't New York City, home famously of a large population of Puerto Rican people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Do you see Jon Stewart talking about how he actually thinks that he's a funny guy?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's lib ass is so cooked, man.
Everything's cooked right now, dude.
But that's some shit. That's some like dumb, that feels like some dumb comedian, like, I stand with him because we should be allowed to joke about whatever we want. That's what it means to be a comedian. It's like, Jon Stewart, you haven't been funny in 30 years. Like, you're not a comedian. You're a political reporter.
Everything, I mean...
Don't come for John.
I have no idea what's going to happen I can't believe it's Monday. But
You mean the presidential election?
Yeah. But the shift that's taken place with like how Twitter has evolved, I feel like it's they've like forced it to be artificially right wing in so many places where I truly don't know what's going to happen. I thought I knew what was going to happen before, but like I do think there's a chance that there might be some overconfidence on the right because of everything getting boosted and like the Tony Hinchcliffes of the world, like that type of sentiment being artificially boosted on X. I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
No, absolutely. Yeah, there's absolutely.
Because the guy who owns Twitter is a dark gothic MAGA member who jumps up and down.
Elon wore a black on black MAGA hat that had a new font on it, which I discovered was like a popular Nazi font, like a font that was used, and it's just like, dude, like,
yeah.
I just don't
remember like 3 years ago everybody thought he was cool.
Yeah, that's a thing I think about a lot,
dude. I talk about this all the time.
This is why you just never
all
talk.
the time.
Like I feel like that's like the key. You just don't talk.
Yeah.
You know who really liked him? All those fucking dorks that like space and think that's where we need to go. And it's like,
yeah, he might have finally lost them.
And Hollywood guys who now everybody wants to return their Tesla, and I'm like, well, you don't care about child labor. It's just crazy to me what people care about and what they don't care about. Like Elon Musk has been a pickle-headed bozo since day one. Like he's an idiot.
Like secretly.
Always has been. Like I just never felt, I was like, I would never buy this guy's car. I don't want to listen to this guy talk. I don't give a fuck about this guy. I never understood the fascination with Elon Musk. I really didn't.
Well,
I really did.
That's you, but if you polled America, like,
yeah,
I don't know, how long do you think, Jason? Like 6 years ago?
Yeah.
He would be like up there with Oprah in terms of like universal popularity. Yeah. Just like, oh yeah, got nothing bad to say about the guy. I don't know much. He has a cool car company and seems to be doing good stuff.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast. We had Paul Scheer on a few months ago, a comedian guy, and he said he has a kid that's like 8 or 10 years old. And his kid's favorite person in the world is Elon Musk.
Damn.
Because like Cybertruck is cool, you know?
Gotta get rid of that kid, bro. Gotta get rid of that kid, sadly.
Gotta dump him off.
I love Cybertruck.
Well, that's on Paul. That's on Paul. Bad parenting.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who lost a lot of money on Tesla stock in the last 6 years because
this just goes back to my whole theory about everyone that is in, that has some sort of absolute power is not a good person. And I don't know why we continue to assume that they are bad people and then they continually over and over prove to us that they are not. And I don't know when the lesson will
From
be
Vince
learned.
McMahon
that,
to Elon Musk, the list goes on.
yeah, like CEOs of giant profitable companies are not going to be like good people. That's not how you get to that position. That
No,
you have
yeah,
to
or
be a
keep
monster.
doing it, right?
Yeah, you just have to step on necks. That's what it is. So I don't understand.
You have to be a bad person.
Yeah, like Jeff Bezos, the only reason I don't like him is because he ruined Whole Foods. That's my big beef with him. I don't know. I don't. The produce just isn't the same. Am I right, Jason? Preach.
1,000% right. He ruined my Whole Foods.
He ruined Whole Foods.
Really?
Now I got to buy my produce at Ralph's because it looks like a fucking military base every time I look.
But there's more Whole Foods. Wouldn't you say there's more Whole Foods locations? Like the availability of it.
There's more Walmarts. It doesn't mean Walmart got better.
That's very true.
That's true. No, but I just think all these guys are bad, and it takes such extreme displays of badness for people to finally be like, you know what, you're right, fuck this. Like he has to literally like promote Nazi propaganda for people to be like, you know what, this is too far. I'm like,
I don't even
what,
think we've
dude?
hit that yet, though.
We haven't. We
Not
haven't.
even close.
But the real point about all this stuff that keeps being proven true as well is that like the only people that like the more extreme all these people get, the more their followers like it. That's the thing. It's not the only person it's offending. Like they could take it as far as they're going to take it. The only people it's going to offend is people on the other side. The people on that side are on board with it. That's why they're there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, not to keep gaming out the election, but if Kamala does win, I feel like Elon will have no choice but to come crawling to bend the knee. I mean, his companies like completely depend on government contracts and approvals to fly that many times.
Yeah, you're right.
I think his fanboys will be very upset by this.
Luckily, at the end of the day, he's got a lot of money, and that's what politicians care about. So I feel like he could find a way to make it work.
Oh, I know, 100%. It'll be his fans will be mad.
The fans will be mad. God,
and I would say in like 5 years, every car is gonna perfect their electric car, and Tesla is going to lose all of its
That's true. It's also like
because Tesla still rules as a car company. It's a great car for a great price.
Drop him as a CEO, honestly.
But just think about this. Think about this. The people, this guy that was made a hero because he owned a car company. Like that is so fucking crazy. Like that's not like an accomplishment.
Well, he kind of implied that he invented it for a long time. Like he didn't outright say it, but he
totally.
He definitely made it seem like.
But I just aim a little higher for my heroes, people who have done good for the world, or at least created some sort of good art that brings people together.
Supreme,
not guys who are like
created Whole Foods.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Not guys that are like, bro, this car is sick and you're gonna want it. Like that's because I don't think he even cares about the environment. I think he just cares about making money.
No, 100%.
100%. Jack, what do you think about another equally, if not worse, plague lookalike contests held in public squares now?
There's one? Is it a trend now? I thought there was just one.
This is going to be a trend.
It's starting to become a trend. Yes, I think we're at the very beginning of a trend. That's
I don't need to weigh in on this yet. I feel like it doesn't have enough steam, Jason.
Oh, it's got steam, and if you're logged up, bro, the amount of press coverage that the Timothy contest got was like staggering. Like multiple major news outlets sent photographers and writers to cover it.
If you have in-person meetup in New York City, they're going to write about it in the New York Times.
I mean, but this reminds me, and I have to give them credit, when Throwing Fits, Jason, did the Jonah Hill Day, and Jonah Hill showed up. This reminds me of that, where like these like marketing guys I saw on LinkedIn, like these marketing guys came up with this and started putting posters up everywhere. It's like some pizza slime shit. And then Timothy actually showed up, and then the cops came.
What if Timothy planned the whole thing?
I was saying this. He's such a little twerp. I don't really get it. Like I don't understand the. I've never seen him in a movie except for Call Me by Your Name.
Pause.
I don't really Is he that good? Is he that good?
Bro, you haven't seen the Dune movies?
I would never see that dork shit. Are you crazy?
What?
Bro, Dune is for fucking
Are you kidding me?
No, no way.
Jason.
I only watched Dune on the airplane. It's not really for me.
Jack, I've talked to women before. I'm not going to watch Dune. That's crazy.
Bro, you are wrong on this one. You are very wrong.
Jack,
on this
trying to sell us, especially Chris, on science fiction is not going. Don't even try it.
Do you watch movies?
I've watched more movies in the last 6 months than I have in my entire life for some reason, but anything sci-fi is truly like I will shrivel up and die. It's just too nerdy. It's just too nerdy.
I mean, you know that you're interviewing the host of a paranormal podcast right now.
Yeah, and I'm happy for your
this is pretty
success.
nerdy.
I'm happy for your success because we're friends, but that doesn't mean I need to get into the subject matter. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Hey, you know
it's
what?
hard for Chris to sink his teeth into a plot line that really kind of hinges whether or not the worms are going to eat us. You know what I mean? He needs something a little more based in reality.
I need some. I like regular stuff to happen. Just normal kind of slice of life is the kind of entertainment I'm looking for.
Like a movie about like going to some sort of collab between a tote bag company
no,
and
no,
you know,
more like a more
like a bespoke liqueur.
no, like a
perhaps?
like kind of like a before sunset or something. You know what I mean? Like a rich
Okay.
The films of Woody Allen.
Just literally a movie about like a guy walking around.
That's a
big
good.
city.
That's a good movie because it requires skill. It doesn't require a bunch of special effects and makeup and weird prosthetic heads on Austin Butler. They made Austin Butler look like me. They fucked up on that. They fucked up. How are they going to make that? I'm going to make
It's a
that
scary
one of the They make one of the best looking
look,
guys alive look like me. They fucked
I'm
up.
surprised. Jason, have you seen the Dune movies? I don't need to like die on this hill, but have you seen the new ones?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen both of them only on the airplane.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Carolyn, my wife, really liked the first one, the second one, whatever. I mean, I watched it kind of in and out. It was not really captivating to me.
Well, yeah, because you saw it on a plane, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the place where I have the most captive attention.
There are things that I don't like where I see it and I could still recognize it's good. Where it's like, okay,
I can too.
I'm not into this, but I could appreciate this is the best version of this.
The new Tyler
Dune,
the Creator album. The new Tyler the Creator
Dune is
album.
working a movie theater better than any other movie this year. Just in terms of like
okay.
using
happy
a movie theater, the speakers.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So you want to talk about 4DX and the sound design? Once again,
Just
wrong
like if you're
audience.
like an IMAX movie, like seeing Dune, it's good.
How much weed do you smoke, bro?
0.
That's crazy.
You don't need to be high to enjoy a movie.
I watched Dune 2, and it's a 3-hour movie. 47 of those minutes are people getting on and off airplanes that just landed on a. It's just like this thing goes psh, and a drawbridge goes down.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Zendaya and 11,000 aliens walk down the stairs and they meet a woman.
Yeah.
And then psh, they go back.
Yeah, this is great. What you're describing is awesome.
Anything with
How many
aliens.
times can you see people get off of a spaceship?
Anything with aliens, I'm out. I'm out. That ain't for me.
Unless they fucking, I'm out.
They're fucking. To be clear.
Chris and I want to watch a movie like Tar.
Okay.
I want to see a woman abuse her family, be shunned by society, and forced to orchestrate symphonies in Thailand.
I understand that these movies make a lot of money and they appeal to a lot of people because most people in the world want to escape their awful lives for 3.5 hours and live in a fantasy land. But this to me is no different than superhero movies where it's just,
Oh, that's crazy.
but it's just fantastical and not based in reality. And
I would much rather watch Dune than like like Marvel Venom or some shit like that.
100%.
But
I'm
still.
not exaggerating. I'm not kidding, Jack. I've never seen a superhero movie. Not
That's
one.
good.
I've never seen one.
That's
Batman.
good.
I may have seen the original Batman because I was a child and I was forced to by my parents. But I would never choose that on my own. But I just don't. Yeah, it's just not. I also just don't. I don't care about all the work that goes into it. Like, I understand that it's like a really insane production. To get that done on that level requires a lot of brilliant people that are very good at their jobs, and I respect that. But my respect for that ends when I have to pay $30 to sit in the movie theater for 3 hours.
Hey, you know what? To each his own. That being said, I just want to go on the record that I'm not a Marvel movie fan.
Oh, I know.
You
I
know,
know.
let's separate these two. Let's separate these two.
I was saying that I equate them, which I think is wrong, but that's where my mind goes. Like, I don't think that's how it is perceived by anyone else but me. It's just that whole category is off limits to me.
Movies.
No, well, kind of, but mostly movies that are not based in any sort of reality.
What's your favorite movie then?
Oh, I don't have a favorite movie. I really could
Okay.
care less about
Yeah,
movies. Like,
I probably couldn't name one either.
but you love movies. You're a cinephile. You're a filmmaker.
I like movies.
But you
They're
don't-
not making them like they used to, bro.
Jack, are you one of those people that doesn't have a favorite anything? It's hard to just name one.
Yeah.
Because I'm that way. I'm personally that way.
Yeah. I'm sort of like that. It's hard for me to think of one at all. It's not like I'm overwhelmed by good options, you know.
What's your favorite beverage? Some coffee, orange juice?
That's easy, Diet Coke.
Damn, bro.
What are you, a chick? Diet Coke?
No, a lot of people drink Diet Coke now, Chris. A lot of Republican guys are doing it. A lot of people consider...
I mean, I've been on this for life.
Jack, do you consider...
But, I mean, coffee would be number one.
Okay.
I mean, waters count. Water's like a...
Water and coffee are the only two drinks you need if you're a man, in my opinion.
There are people that consider Diet Coke to be a nootropic. How do you feel about that, Jack?
It is.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
100%.
Huh.
Yeah, because I drink
Now, but have you been
coffee
drinking
in the
Diet
morning,
Coke for years?
Like, if you stack coffee to a certain point, it's going to have diminishing returns. But like a Diet Coke, different type of caffeine.
Oh.
I was watching one of the sports documentaries. I can't remember which one. And there was a guy who's like, played professional sports in like the 80s or 90s. And he said that he would drink a Coke on the
100%
bench
regular
because
Coke.
it would give him more energy
Than
than
Gatorade,
anything else he could do at that time.
Yeah.
Like it would just work, which I never think about Coke like that because we've been conditioned to think it's just so bad for us. There's no benefits.
I'll dabble in Diet Coke. I'm not like pounding. I'll do like maybe, it's a treat for me. Mainly water. I have the Spindrifts. I got the Spindrifts out in the fridge over there.
Do you have a garage fridge?
Bro, I'm in my office, Chris.
You have an office fridge.
We're not in a garage.
But do you have a refrigerator in your garage, just as a side question?
Oh, no, I don't have that. No. I thought you were implying I was in a garage right now.
No. But you have a fridge in your office. You have a personal fridge in the office?
Yeah, I have a little fridge.
Okay.
Is it branded Red Bull or Monster?
I've tried to get one. I tried to get one of those. I tried to get like a Rockstar one.
I contacted my C4 family and they didn't get back to me about the custom
I would have
fridge.
loved that. No, I was trying to get it on Craigslist.
I've got a Brat Green Smeg in the shopping cart ready to pull the trigger. I haven't had the chance to yet.
Love the Smegs.
Having a college fridge in your office is pretty cool, but what do you keep in there? Some gin?
Just purely bevs.
Just bevs. You don't have any deer meat or anything in there.
No.
Jack, okay, some podcasting questions for you. I was listening to a podcast where you mentioned that you do not think that video is the future of podcasting.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
good. I mean, I agree with you, but I'd like to hear more from you.
Well, I mean, I don't do video. The main thing is I don't think it works for the stories that we do. I think with the stories that I'm doing on Otherworld, it's best for people to use their imagination and listen to a person. Your imagination's always going to be scarier than like showing it or seeing a person describe the thing, right? I also think like an obstacle I have with Otherworld is like you're working against people's judgment of like a stranger that they're listening to, and watching them just gives more opportunities for somebody to judge them, I think.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think Otherworld works on video. I don't think it works. I think it would be boring. And also the other thing is like, then you're just, at a certain point, you're just making a TV show. You know, at what point does a podcast become a TV show?
Yeah.
When you're doing all that work, you may as well just shoot a TV show.
A good TV
I
show
agree.
should require more than a video podcast, but I agree with you.
Well, some of them just become talk shows, right?
I wonder with something like that, like how different the numbers are video versus audio. Like if it's just so skewed video,
It has to
like
be.
the actual like viewership.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of young people watch or like consume content mainly on YouTube, even if they're not watching the video. It's just like minimized while they're gaming or something. They got Rogan on while they're playing Valorant.
But yeah, YouTube is the biggest podcasting platform. You know, Apple, Spotify, all of them combined.
Well, I just think a podcast is just a podcast. It's like a podcast is good for what it is. There's a reason it's big, you know? People want to listen when they're doing their chores, when they're driving, you know? They want to watch a video in a completely different situation. That's my thinking.
Yeah, we've talked about that actually recently in an interview where you listen to a podcast while you are doing stuff and you are able, like you said, trust your listeners' imagination and ability to create these own visuals in their mind based on how good you are at telling a story. Because the people that listen to podcasts have stuff going on. They're walking, they're running errands, doing chores. And then people who feel the need to watch a podcast might not have as much going on in their life, and or they're at a job where you just put your phone up on the cash register when you work at whatever store or whatever, you know?
I'll take it a step further. A lot of the biggest video podcasts that you see, or supposed video podcasts, like the ones that are going viral, I'm pretty sure 80% of those shows barely exist. They're just like complete setups to go viral on TikTok.
That's all it is.
You know, have you noticed that? Like, there's the presence of the Shure microphone in these videos is like
no, that's a huge thing.
Like, nobody's listening to these shows. Nobody's listening to these shows.
A lot of brands are creating fake podcasts just for visual TikTok clips.
Oh, I love seeing those fake ones where it's like acting like two guys organically brought up some Amazon bullshit product, you know?
Bro, I've been using this powder for like 6 months, and I gotta say, my dick is definitely getting bigger.
Literally, I've seen this.
Is that a Ridge wallet you have there?
Yeah. Is that a Ridge wallet you have there? Hold on, bro. Is that a Ridge wallet, or are you just happy to see me? It's true, though. That really is. But I mean, are people actually that dumb, or is it just that's what people are so used to seeing?
It's
they
just
don't
like,
even
I feel
process.
like it's just the new meta, you know?
Yeah. You're
Same
right.
with ads too, you know, like everything is like all the ads on TV I see now are shot like a TikTok video. Right?
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
People are doing TikTok speak.
But they're spending millions of dollars to make it look like a TikTok video to air on television.
The problem is, like, I don't, you know, just because something's happening doesn't mean it's right or that it works.
Yeah.
And I feel like so much, dude, we saw what happened to Facebook when it pivoted to video. So much negative ripple effects can happen when like one platform just juices their numbers or like artificially gasses something, and then everybody follows suit.
I mean, there was an era where you could just start a brand of anything, and if you knew how to game the Facebook ads, you could be a millionaire.
Yes.
And when that changed, I bet when that changed, car dealerships noticed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think people lost a lot of money and there was nothing they could do. It was just like an algorithmic shift, and you have no control over it. And your business is just in the toilet now. It's over.
It's crazy.
I mean, they have all the power. I mean, the video thing didn't work either, but I don't feel like we learned our lesson on the video thing.
Why are you anti-video?
It just doesn't work with the way we do our show. Like, we do it on Zoom. We do it wherever we are in the world. We do it with people wherever they are in the world. For it to look good and be meaningful, you have to be in the same room, in my opinion, for video to work. And that's just not, that would limit what we do to such an extreme degree. It's not worth it.
Yeah, there's no reason, just 3 video screens of a Zoom call as your visuals for your podcast. At that point, just do a fucking audio podcast. What's the point? You know?
But we're going to figure out, because like I think there's a way for us to just put at least the audio on YouTube. You know what I mean? So if people really want to use YouTube, like you described earlier, Jack, like, sure, by all means.
Getting a lot of takedown notices for our music right now. Just to let you know, we're not going to be available in Russia at all.
Oh, God damn it! That's one of my favorite markets.
Which is fine.
Why don't we all just go Mr. Beast mode? Team up.
I know. I mean, that's the other thing, is just no one does it. Like, we've talked about it so much, but like no one makes it look good, and except like Adam Friedland. He's the only one who's done something that looks good.
He's just shooting a talk show.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's
exactly.
I agree with you that that's what it is, but that's fine if you do it right.
Totally.
Whereas if it's you in your garage with a backdrop and a neon sign, you're not 100%. Doing it right.
But also, I'm barely in my own show too, which is another thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
true.
What am I going to do?
True.
It would just be me listening, like nodding. Oh, wow.
Saying wow over and over.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's true. That wouldn't, I mean,
what was that like?
We are ripe for video, but it's just the hurdle is it just doesn't make sense.
Respect.
Yeah, we would rather wait until we have a way to use video in the right way. But to Adam Friedland's credit, it's one of those things where you watch one of his videos and you're like, oh, this is just what I would do. Just get some nice furniture and spend a little money on lighting and a camera, and you can have it look like this, not fucking, like you said, a neon sign with some Wayfair furniture or whatever. But it kind of goes back to the old saying, you know, the punk rock kind of ethos of like, hey, and I could do that, but you didn't.
Exactly.
So, you know, he actually went and did it, and that's the thing that most people are unable to do. Yeah.
100%.
It looks easy, but no one's doing it.
I also think I think that costs him a lot of money.
No, it does.
Like, I think it does.
It
is eating into profits considerably because he knows it's worth it in the long run, and I really appreciate.
And also, no other networks are going to give him a production budget to do that because of the subject matter that they speak on the show. It's not necessarily dear media material.
Sure.
So they kind of have to go there.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
own
it's
way.
like, I think that probably feels good to be fully in control, make the money, spend the money.
It's a pirate ship, brother.
Yeah, it's some pirate shit, brother. I've still never listened to or watched an episode, but I love it in theory.
What are you consuming on the day-to-day, Chris? What's your intake? I'm curious.
Joe Budden and music.
Okay.
I mean, I occasionally listen to the Shane Gillis podcast.
Okay.
Because it feels kind of like our podcast, but just different kinds of guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different kinds of guys.
And then I'll listen to like Puck stuff. I'll listen to Lauren Sherman, or I'll listen to Matt Bellany, like the Hollywood stuff. But that's really it. I listen to Charlemagne occasionally, just because I hate Andrew Schultz so much that I can't stop.
We listen to Tim Dillon when he's not interviewing JD Vance.
Yeah,
just talking about like an interaction that he had at Nobu or something. I'll listen to that all day.
Yeah, when he talks about going to a steakhouse, there's nobody better. When he talks about politics, there's nobody I want to listen to less.
No, Tim is naturally very funny.
So funny.
Yes.
But I just don't know why. It's just so interesting to me that all these guys eventually have to talk about politics, and I would say 99% of the time are on the wrong side of where
They're
need
playing
to be.
the meta. They're playing the meta.
They don't have
you
to
know?
do it, but the money is too good. They can't stop.
No, they don't have to.
The money's too good. But if Jason and I started talking like that right now, we would be rich in 6 months.
100%.
How many more times can Chris say Kamala, you guys? Where's the money?
No.
No, but I don't understand.
Start now.
I don't understand. I just don't understand if it's like, I don't think these guys even really believe what they're saying. I think it's just like, this is my, I think over time they start to, but I think when they start off, it's a little bit of a bit, and then it goes too far, but the money's too good. The Patreon's banging. You can't turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
100%.
Andrew Schultz already has that haircut. He can't go back now.
That's what I mean, though. It's like no one can just be like a funny guy. They have to bring this stuff into it, and they have to have bad opinions on it as well. Like, I just don't understand.
Well, it's either that or you have to be apolitical.
I try to be apolitical with what I'm doing now.
Like the Washington Post.
Which feels good.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, we talk about it from time to time, but like, I just don't. I think that it's for us, because we talk about like current events. It's too, even with my newsletter, like I had to start talking about it because it's the only thing in the news cycle. It's the only thing anybody's talking about. So, you know what I mean? It's like you can't. Luckily, Jason and I are on the right side of it, at least in our opinions. But like
the right side.
No, not that side. The
correct
you know
side.
what I mean. You
We're
know
on
what
the
I
correct
We
side,
know.
Jack.
we're on the correct side. But I think it's just a funny thing that's happened with like all comedians and podcasters.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's been a slow process and transition, but now it's like X. I mean, have you seen people where they'll post identical statements where it's like, I'll be voting for Kamala this year, like I'll be voting for Trump this year, and one will be extremely boosted. Like they'll show them at. Have you seen people do that? Like the side by side comparisons.
Yeah.
Like it's showing more people the Trump posts. They're like actively boosting that stuff right now.
Yeah, because the guy in charge of boosting that is on stage with Trump.
100%.
So it doesn't,
I mean,
it's not that much of a surprise.
I don't know what's going to happen, but if she does win, if Kamala wins, it might be a little bit of a replay of 2016, but the exact opposite, when everybody is shocked, being like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? How could this have happened? You know, nobody likes him.
Yeah.
Right.
The platforms are basically deprioritizing anybody with those opinions, or they just weren't on there in the first place. Now it's only those guys.
Yeah.
I don't have it ananymore. I don't really. I watch, but I don't post. I deleted all my tweets.
Oh, I post daily. I love it. It's never been better. But I think that the reason I know what you're talking about is because I'm fucking logged on. But I think that, I mean, yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen either. I mean, I think that she is. I just think it's very hard to understand the other side in this case, because it's like they're so extreme and everything's so awful, and just every take is worse than the next, where there's just it's just really there's no common ground.
Well, that's why I think that comedians have become such an integral part of the election, is they're able to take this information from Trump and Kamala, who are bad at conveying their personalities, their thoughts. You know, nobody likes either of them that I know. So comedians are able to take that information. They're just better at public speaking. They're more funny. They're more charming. They're more persuasive, and they have a captive audience of people that are already into them. They're just better at talking than politicians. And it used to be kind of the other way around. Politicians used to be really good at talking. Trump is really good at talking, but now he's sort of, there's no more gas in the tank.
I just think that, there's no more gas in the tank. And it's getting so extreme that it's like, I mean, strictly on like women's issues, Kamala should win. If we just took everything else out of it, she should win, because that's like such a weird hot button issue that Republicans are obsessed with. But I mean, dude,
and mass deportation.
Yeah, it's like this shit. Yeah, Jason and I both watched the John Oliver and this week, and he did a great thing about mass deport. Like, I just learned so much. But it's just insane what these guys, what they're doing. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like it really, like I'm a pretty logical, normal guy. And when I watch this, I'm like, this is wild that people I know, or at least I encounter, like, believe this stuff, because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, the really disorienting thing about right now too is that so much of it, like, the platforms are like based on something that's like not even real, right? It's like layers of nonsense that people are arguing about.
Look, dude, they were eating the pets in Ohio. I stand by that one. That one I believe.
and you're for it.
No, that's one of the dumbest. That's one of the wildest, dumbest things. That, and like, Venezuelan militias taking over apartment complexes. It's just like, dude.
No, yeah.
This
the pet
is
thing
not
was funny
true.
because it's like not hard to get animals. Like, it's not hard to, like, why would you need to steal somebody's cat?
Yeah, it's not. You're right.
You ever tasted a wild cat, Jack? Didn't think so. It's a little different.
Yeah, just go on. Like, it's the premise from the start is flawed. Like, just go on Craigslist. There's a million people trying to give away kittens.
It's just
Delicious kittens.
That's a great point.
If for some reason you want to eat
delicious kittens are available for adoption all the time, everywhere you look in this country.
Yeah,
all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting week next week. I mean, I don't know. I think if Trump loses, he's gotta go away. I think that's it. I don't think that's necessarily.
If he loses, the ripple effect is going to be crazy.
Is that why you
that will be fun
a
to
Glock?
watch.
Because they're going to take it to the streets and start looking for.
I got a Glock just because I was excited to be in the moment, hanging out with people, dude. I'm not as social as you guys. You know what? I get jealous of you, Jason. I watch your Instagram stories. I'm like, look at this man out in the world. You too, Chris. I'm like, they're out in the world. They're going to events.
Yeah.
I'm over here stuck in my office. You guys are influencing. You're doing influencer stuff.
Why are you stuck in your office?
Well, that's our job.
We podcast more than you do, bro.
The podcast episodes take longer to make. They each take like a month to make, Jason. They take like a month to make.
This feels like user error.
No exaggeration.
You need long. I'll make one of your pods in one day, bro.
Try. I will hire you. I will hire you. Want some extra cash?
Please send me your resume.
Like, literally, if you want to edit some, hit me up. But they're complicated stories.
I have a call at 4. Sorry, guys. But Jack,
okay,
I appreciate you. Always a pleasure to catch up. And
I'm about to poach Jason.
Yeah, poach me up. We'll discuss fees.
The fees go through me, though, so it's going to be a tough negotiation.
You could
Jack.
take your 10%. You could take your 10%.
No, I give it all to Jason. I just have to really go to the mat for his rights. It's just because I want to help. It's not. It has nothing.
It's like Chris is like my public defender.
Yeah,
He's my public defender.
I respect that.
I'm here representing my client.
Because I'm easily taken advantage of, and Chris is kind of like the older brother, and you're the bully in this situation.
I show up all disheveled with like a shitty briefcase, and I'm trying to get my papers in order for my.
Got a 7-Eleven coffee. It's all stained on his hand.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
I'm going to jail, dog.
Listen to. If your lawyer looks like this, you're going to jail. Listen to Otherworld wherever you get podcasts. It's available everywhere. Jack, thank you again as always, and we will hopefully see you soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Bro. Our pleasure. Talk to you.
Just wanna